The events in tonight's episode are real, drawn from history, folklore, and whispered accounts. The Academy's connection to these events exists only in legend, as intended. Before you enter these halls, heed warning. Tonight's chilling tales are not for the faint of heart. All who enter must be prepared to explore stories of darkness, mystery, the macabre, and all of the darkest parts of humanity. If tales of true crime, the paranormal, or other creatures that go bump in the night unsettle you, turn back now. This is not the place for you. For those of you brave souls who stayed, welcome to Dark Academy. I'm Kristen and I'll be your guide. Before we go anywhere, I'll need your phones and any other electronics in this basket. Don't worry, they'll be safe in the lockbox. We can't have any of the secrets from the archives escaping into the world. While you're doing that, I have something to share. I found another journal. This one has a map inside. Well, a portion of a map. Apparently, there are caves and tunnels right under our feet, leading to God knows where. I'm not a cave kind of girl, but this journal has my curiosity fighting my sense of self-preservation. Before I tell you what has me so intrigued, let's head down to the archives. That's where the real documents are kept. Most are tied to the space anyway and can't be removed, so grab your lanterns, follow me to the Forbidden Archives. Oh, this way. We have to go outside to get to the basement entrance. I did have an electrician come check out the building's wiring, but he said there seems to be something wrong with the main electricity source or something. I don't know much about electricity. Anyway, here we are. Watch your step, though, on the stone stairwell. They're damp and slippery. And dark. Electricity and all. I don't guess anybody grabbed the keys, did they? No? Well, I'll be right back. If you hear anything strange while I'm gone, ignore it. Do not talk to it. Unless you want to take it home. In that case, that's on you. It's kind of clingy, so do not call me when you can't get rid of it. I'm back. Alright, let's go inside. Welcome to the Forbidden Archives, a hidden chamber where secrets were meant to stay buried. I know, it's not as nice as the library, but I brought in some extra chairs. It's a bit of a fixer-upper, you might say. I'll fix it up as we go along. Now, let's talk about what's in these files. Conspiracies, cover-ups, chilling truths lurking just beyond the veil. Documents in this room are incomplete. Pieces missing, information redacted. They could be solved cases, closed for good. Science and history will be changed forever. But there's some information we just are not ready for. I did read some gossipy stuff in a personal journal I found about how the Vatican likes to be the only ones with all the secrets in their vault, so they send people to confiscate it without your knowledge as soon as they get word. So, do not tell them about this place. We have recently cloaked it so they can't hear it from us. So, if anything else goes missing, I'll know it was from one of you. Okay, back to my journal and map. I did find other parts of this map, but not the whole thing. It appears to be a cave system that connects parts of the world underground, if that wasn't clear. The journal also referred to this bizarre-looking poster-size illustration of Earth with people inside and a sun. It's weird, right? Anyway, it led me to this theory I think many of you have at least heard about. I didn't think it was so big, and that it seems to be connected to every conspiracy ever. They're all tied to this one in some way, shape, or form. So, it seems like a good place to start for our Forbidden Archives meetings. It's a favorite theme in fantasy fiction and used in many works to this day. Marvel uses it, Godzilla uses it, there's books and games related. We're talking about Hollow Earth. Hollow Earth theory says the Earth is, well, hollow. At the very least, there's something down there. But what exactly does that mean? What does it look like? The concept isn't new. Subterranean places have been prevalent in many ancient cultures. Okay, bear with me, y'all. This is a common belief, so it's an extensive list. Christian hell, Jewish Sheol, Greek and Egyptian underworlds, Hindu Patala, and so on. Irish Celts believed the subterranean Tuatha De Danann people introduced Druidism, then went back underground. Russians believed the ancient Siberian Samoyedic tribes went to live in a cavernous city. In Arizona, near Cedar Creek, there's said to be a tunnel in the San Carlos Apache Indian Reservation that leads inside the earth where a mysterious tribe lives. Many indigenous Americans believe their ancestors originated from caves underground. The Taino people from Cuba believe their ancestors emerged from under the mountains. Mandan people believe theirs came out of the earth in a cave on the north side of the Missouri River. Iroquois believe theirs came from somewhere inside the earth. Incans believe theirs came from caves east of Cuzco, Peru. Brazilian Indians living by the Parima River believe theirs emerged from an underground land. They also believe some of their people still live there. Natives to Trobriand Islands also believe their ancestors came from a cave called Abucula. Others believe there are certain caves that are just entrances to the underworld. Hopi people believe there's an entrance to the underworld in the Grand Canyon. So be careful down there. Ancient Germans believed some mountains between Eisenach and Gotha have a portal to inner Earth. Mexican mythology says a cave 5 miles south of Ojinaga contains devilish creatures from inside the earth. The Celts have a cave called Cruachan, or Ireland's Gates to Hell. That's not intense at all. And done. Ooh, that was a lot of hard names to say. Put that part of the file away right now. Okay, somebody, can you hand me that file over there labeled Hollow Earth Science? To your right. Oh, sorry, my right, your left. Yes, that one. Thank you. Okay, all right, where is it? Here it is. It's a journal entry I found that sounded interesting. It says, recovered journal entry, author unknown. Dr. Haley's theories are not mere flights of fancy, but insightful reflections from an individual who has ventured beyond the confines of established understanding. While many scholars dismiss his ideas regarding a world existing within our own, the cosmos itself seems to validate truths not observable by the average individual. In a largely overlooked collection of almanacs and treatises, I have discovered a particularly intriguing manuscript. Its pages nearly fused with time, yet revealing the distinctive style of thoughtful author. The handwriting, though unfamiliar, conveys significant understanding. It discusses unusual movements beneath the vast southern ice and irregularities in the compass needle where none should exist. These observations should not be dismissed as mere fantasies, but rather as hints of an undiscovered realm. If Dr. Haley's claims are accurate, then the interior of the Earth may not be a solid structure, but rather a composition of chambers and hidden depths. It could be teeming with activity, rather than desolate and quiet. Should this be the case, I will not rest until I uncover the entry point to this concealed world. I don't know who wrote this entry, but obviously someone who used to be part of the Academy. What I can't help but wonder is, where are they now? But here's what I found about this Haley they referenced. The foundation for the Hollow Earth theory was laid by astronomer Edmund Halley. He's known for his accurate prediction of the return of Halley's Comet, yes, the Halley's Comet, in 1758. His contribution to Hollow Earth theory came in 1692, though. According to Halley, the Earth had 4 layers, kind of like Russian nesting dolls, each layer having its own atmosphere and possibly its own magnetic field. This theory stemmed from his hypothesis about why true north and magnetic north are not the same, a fact I did not know. He thought each layer rotated at different speeds, causing the magnetic anomalies. And considering the tectonic plates shifting, I don't think that's too crazy of a theory, especially way back then. Where it got weird, though, was when he proposed that each layer may be inhibited by some beings. He didn't specify what kind, but that it may also have some sort of luminous atmosphere. the light escaping in the North and South Pole, causing polar auroras. Aurora borealis and aurora australis. Again, back in those times, that doesn't sound too crazy. Anyway, mainstream science apparently did, because they eventually discarded his theories. However, many others found his hypothesis a good foundation for later theories on Hollow Earth. Another proponent of the theory was John Sims. In the early 1800s, he believed much of his same theories as Halley, that there were layers. He thought 5, similar enough, and these layers also contain life. He also believed there were entrances at the North and South Pole, which came to be known as Sims holes. He didn't really care about the science behind it though. He just knew it existed and wanted to go there. He did try to get the government to fund his expedition, but you could probably imagine how that went. On April 10th, 1818, Sims declared the Earth is hollow and habitable within, containing a number of solid concentric spheres, one within the other, and that is open at the poles 12 or 16 degrees. I pledge my life in support of this truth, and I am ready to explore the hollow, if the world will support and aid me in this undertaking. He requested 100 men to travel with him on his expedition to the North Pole. Again, as you can imagine, he was met with ridicule. Sadly, he never made it to the poles to test his theory, because he seems so passionate about it. But there are many after him who find his declaration more credible and also believe in Hollow Earth. These people are a little more into the occult and mysticism of Hollow Earth. So, let's put this file away and... Oh, thank you. Well, you're on top of things. In this spiritual Hollow Earth folder that... What's your name? Oh, you don't want to say it, no problem. That Anonymous just handed me. I have another journal entry. Recovered journal entry. The author's name is unfortunately illegible, possibly erased even. There are rumors of a kingdom beneath our feet, a land impervious to human folly, a realm of extraordinary wonders and profound fears, so remarkable that to utter its name is thought to invoke its presence. They refer it to Agartha, the realm of hidden monarchs, where knowledge predating even the sun is securely guarded. I have examined the maps, traced their contours with unsteady hands. These are not the incidental fabrications of delusional minds. They are meticulously crafted by skilled cartographers who depicted what they should not have known. The maps reveal the routes and concealed entrances hidden within ice and stone. Some are said to be nestled deep within the Himalayas, while others reside in the unfathomable depths of the ocean. Yet, there are those who assert that the true access point is much more proximate, concealed in areas where few dare to venture for fear of what might gaze back in return. I have pursued the accounts of predecessors, yet their narratives conclude in ink blots and unfinished reflections. Did they discover it? Were they consumed by their own aspirations? Tomorrow, I will continue my journey. Should I not return, let this serve as a caution. Some doors, once open, may never close again. I have to say, y'all, I'm starting to understand why Dark Academy might be abandoned. We have to be careful opening these files. I think it's pretty obvious these mysteries can consume you. Maybe the Vatican isn't being selfish taking files. Maybe they're trying to keep us safe. In 1873, French writer Louis Jacoliot said he had an ancient manuscript that contained 15,000 years of Indian history. A friend of his from his time as an official in South India told him Agartha was a capital city in ancient India that was destroyed in 5000 BC. Turns out his description of Agartha had very little in common with any Indian mythology. In fact, Agartha was more in line with Asgard in Norse mythology. Agartha is an alternate spelling of Asgard. Why would he claim Indian instead of Norse? The only thing I can think of is Asgard isn't underground and/or India was maybe more exotic at the time. Maybe that would sell more books. Either way, others jumped on the Hindu Agartha bandwagon. Most occultists who mentioned it in writings, The Coming Race, Ghostland, or Research into the Mysteries of Occultism, and Mysteries of the Great Subterranean World. The last was written by French occultist Alexandre Saint-Yves d'Alvedre. He claimed to have worked with a high official in the Hindu church and had mastered astral travel and visited Agartha. His Agartha is a mix of theosophy, Indian beliefs, and occultism of the time. He claimed it had not been destroyed and still had millions of inhabitants who were ruled by one leader. This high Hindu official turned out to be a parrot shop owner with the Muslim name Haji Sharif. So, Agartha isn't believed to be a real place, but to some it is, and it's part of their occult religion. True believers in Agartha think the entrance is somewhere in the Himalayas. The Old Ones, a race of powerful beings, created intricate tunnels inside the earth connecting all of the continents. They were more advanced than us physically, spiritually, and in intelligence and technology. They're pretty much omniscient, knowing everything going on up here, which I don't know why we're so obsessed with thinking that all these other races are way more advanced than us. But anyway, there are millions of them, and they're ruled by the Master. There are other cults who also believe in some form of Agartha, but they aren't truly centered around the Hollow Earth theory, so I'm not going to go into those. Alright, so I already have this folder, so let's look into the Hollow Earth conspiracy theories. Believers in Hollow Earth cite U.S. Navy officer Admiral Richard Byrd's journal chronicling his expedition as proof. Unfortunately, we don't have that journal. In 1947, Byrd led an expedition to Antarctica for the government's Operation High Jump. And while flying over the South Pole, people or beings hacked his controls and landed his plane in their underground city, inside the Earth. He saw an advanced civilization with lush landscape, anti-gravity aircrafts, mammoths, and other extinct animals. All of this supports Sims theories. The Ariani people, or the Masters, found him worthy to warn of the world's risk of nuclear destruction. They said they sent their crafts, or UFOs as we think they are, but our people shot them down. Some say it traces back to Roswell. He was escorted back to his plane and allowed to leave, but not without a warning. If we didn't change our ways, catastrophic events would follow, and we would then seek out their help. Supposedly, Byrd kept a detailed account in his journal, but didn't share it with the government because they were trying to cover it all up. They didn't know about the journal, though, so after his death, it was found. Many claim the journal never existed at all because nobody can provide the journal, nobody has ever seen it. And like I said, I haven't found it here in the archives, but maybe it'll pop up one day. I did find this interesting entry, though. File number 211. Recovered documents. Dark Academy Archives. Date unknown. Translated from German. They're always up in something. The expedition was never about a whaling base. Our mission was top secret. A search for something old and ancient. We were following the myths, the symbols, and the whispers of an entrance beneath the frozen wasteland. And we found it. But at what cost? Burns was the first to disappear. One moment he was in camp, setting up equipment. The next, only his footprints remained, leading directly into the mountain. Then came the lights, silent, hovering above the peaks, unaffected by the wind. The last transmission from Base 211 wasn't in German. It wasn't in any language known to man. And yet, we understood every word. You were not meant to find us. In 1938, the Germans went to Antarctica on a scientific and whaling expedition. Conspiracy theorists claim it was a secret search for entrances to the inner Earth. And they found it. They made contact with an underground civilization that gave them the knowledge and spirituality and technology. Even believed to have developed UFOs. Some believe the Nazis built a secret underground base for occult practices and developing advanced technology. It was called Base 211. Some theories suggest high-ranking Nazis, including Hitler himself, escaped to the underground world through entrances in Antarctica or South America. Remember Admiral Richard Byrd in Operation High Jump? Well, some say that mission was actually to destroy Base 211. Some believe governments are aware of Base 211 and the hidden underground world, and global elites or secret societies have access, even to this day. Hitler was thought to be part of and influenced by the esoteric group called the Thule Society. There is no evidence he was ever part of the group, but they were obsessed with the lost civilization and mystical origins of the Aryan race. And since the idea of the superiority of the white race that led to Aryanism also led to the Holocaust, I think we can deduce that he was at least influenced by the teachings or beliefs. The Thule Society believed the Aryan race was possibly from Agartha. So let's try to make sense of Hollow Earth with some modern knowledge. Scientists do believe it is impossible for the Earth to be hollow, since experiments suggest that Earth's mass is too great. But we've only been able to drill down about 8 miles, so we can only go off our scientific readings. Earthquakes help determine what's down there. P waves and S wave readings show where solids and liquids are inside the Earth. Seismic waves help determine what materials the waves are passing through. They also use gravity measures and readings from magnetic activity. But even though science does suggest the Earth is mostly solid, there are many cave systems down there. And who knows how far down they go, how big they get. It is impossible to know how many caves or cave systems that have yet to be explored or mapped. We do know of real underground cities that exist or existed on every continent. One example is the ancient city of Derinkuyu, Turkey, near Cappadocia, built in the 8th and 7th century BC. This multi-level underground complex was used for various reasons, all the way up to the early 1900s. It contains shelters, wine cellars, animal stables, schools, churches, and a well that doubles as a ventilation shaft, among other things. But its use was often centered around hiding from various hostiles in the area, from Arab Muslims, Mongolians, and Turkish Muslims. Later, Greeks and Armenians took refuge there during the Greco-Turkish War from 1919 to 1922, when the Ottoman Empire attempted genocide of the two. In 1923, Greece and Turkey did a people exchange, and the tunnels were abandoned and forgotten. Years later, in 1963, a man renovating his home dug too deep and found a tunnel that led to the underground city. Can you even imagine? That's like a dream. A little bit scary, but still a dream. The tunnels were excavated and opened to the public in 1969. Apparently, there's less excavated than not, so there may be more to see in the future. There are modern underground cities today, but they're more like tunnel systems connecting buildings from above, whether it be for shelter or military forces or to simply avoid bad weather. Montreal has a major tunnel system that they call a city because there are shops and other things inside the tunnels, so in the winter you do not have to go outside. It probably does feel like being underground for much of the year. I don't know if all this means there's a possibility that an advanced civilization lives deep under the Earth's surface, or that it's hollow. But I do know it is possible someone saw some civilization underground, with technology more advanced than theirs, and thought there could be more. So whether you believe interpretations of scientific readings or the writings of theorists and possible eyewitnesses is for you to decide. Who does it hurt if you believe in Hollow Earth? I don't know what I believe, but I do know every now and then strange noises come from behind those doors blocking the cave under the academy. Yes, those doors behind you. Don't worry, we're staying on the research side of that wall. Well, that's it for the dark and chilling tale of Hollow Earth. Seriously, it's sealed. You're gonna be okay. As long as you don't run up the... Well, he's not okay. Please, Everyone be careful on the stairs. Now that we're back on the main floor, thank you for joining me here in the Forbidden Archives at Dark Academy. I hope you enjoy this dark and chilling tale and will come back next time for another one. In the spirit of Hollow Earth, we're going to watch The Descent for our next Midnight Library Circle. Don't forget to leave a review for this episode in the comment section below. I'll try to post pictures and other content on TikTok and Instagram at Dark Academy Pod. If you'd like to leave a review for the whole show, you can do that on Apple Podcasts. Please rate us on any of the apps and also share with your friends and family. It really helps the show grow. You can also email me at darkacademypod@gmail.com. Send episodes and movie requests. You can send personal stories about anything related. I'd love to read it. Thanks again for listening, and I'll meet you here next time. Same time, same place. For it's always midnight at Dark Academy. Bye.